Welcome to a present from the past.
The show for all your paranormal needs.
Welcome to another episode of A Presence from the Past. My name is Weldon Trantham, and as always, the fabulous Natasha is with us.
Good evening.
So, today's episode. Sorry, I'm fumbling through the cameras here. Today's episode is actually going to be on.
Why spirits decide to stay.
There we go. I don't know why I couldn't find the. I'm lost. All right, so in your opinion, Natasha, why do you think spirits decide to stay?
I've been asked that a lot over the years as to why spirits decide to stay. And there's a lot of reasons why. Um, one reason is that they don't know they're dead. That's the one that we've always heard since we were little kids, is that they don't know that they're dead. And that could be because of something tragic happening, maybe a shooting or in a car wreck. And so they just don't know. It's so traumatic and so fast that it it's almost like a time warp type thing. They just don't know that they're dead. And so they're kind of in that disbelief, whatever. And so they stay because they're in denial. Um, Another one is that um, they just choose not to. Um, for various reasons. Obviously, one, they don't want to be judged. Especially if you've been grown up in a religious background and you've heard the light and stuff like that. Um, a lot, at the light, and you're going to be judged. It's your judgment day. Um, some people are afraid to be judged. And so they don't want to cross over for whatever reason. Um, we've also heard, about the light. Um, if you haven't, if there is a light, because obviously I don't know per se, and we're
Right.
still, like I said, this is still a science, and we're still trying to find answers. But if there is a light, that's kind of scary, and for some people, and they don't know what to do, and or they can't find the light for whatever reason. And some people also, spirits decide to stay because they're not ready to leave their loved ones for whatever reason. Maybe they feel they need to protect them, um, watch over them, and so forth.
Right.
So those are some of the things that or things or reasons why people or spirits don't cross over and choose to stay. Um, Also, some could also have been cursed. Like Native Americans, if they placed a curse on something, um, you have your voodoo religions and stuff like that. So different religions, different people could
Right.
also, place curses on that on you as well. So that could be a good possibility, and so therefore you're earthbound forever.
So I mean, it's sort of like if we go back to um, ones that choose to stay behind,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get the feeling like that would be sort of like a grandmother, or grandparent, or just a protective figure
Mm-hmm.
that is trying to make sure that their children or that someone they cared about a lot
Mm-hmm.
is taken care of and kind of give them a little bit of guidance on the in the right direction.
Right.
Because other than that, I don't see why anybody. Okay, I get it. The afraid of judgment,
Mm-hmm.
because you never know if
Right.
you could have been doing everything you thought was right for your entire life, and I saw a comic strip one time and it was talking about everybody lining up at the gates and they get through and everybody's pretty much going down to hell and the guy looks over and says, "You had Jesus? Yeah, I had Jesus. Who knew it was going to be a bullfrog in Africa?" It was like, this is crazy. It's funny.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I get it. It's kind of a fear thing, and you know, you never know what's going to happen. Um,
And children are the same way. I've been on an investigation where I was able to communicate with a boy. He was about 12 years old, and he had died of cancer. And he stayed because he wanted to comfort his mother, because his mother, was still grieving, and so he stayed because he wanted to, because of his
yeah,
mother. And but there was also he also, where had gone to investigate, was in an abandoned hospital, and his uncle had worked there and had died there. So his uncle had died at that hospital.
wow,
Though they both were there together. And what they were doing was, because this abandoned hospital was also being redone. So, like, another group had, construction people were coming in, and they
right,
were redoing the hospital. And they like to mess with the construction. And that was the main reason why we were coming, was because their equipment was going missing, but be at another place. And there was no, they had cameras, security guards would hear the noise and stuff like that. And so they would hear all this noise. And that's why we were called to
right,
see, what the heck is going on. And so I had the privilege of being able to communicate with this boy, and the reason was because he stayed for his mother, but he also stayed for his uncle, because his uncle was fun, because they had fun
yeah.
messing with the people and
Oh.
all the equipment, and so that's why he chose to stay.
That, I mean, that's kind of a touching. That's very, to me, that's funny. That's kind of a touching story, because the kid really cares about his mom,
Mhm.
want to make sure she was okay. But hey, at least his uncle was there to kind of,
Yeah. They just had fun there,
yeah,
and that's just the way it is. And so for uh, children, a lot people ask me a lot about children. Why do children stay? Because in the Bible, it says all children go to heaven, and I believe that. I
right,
think so, but I also feel like those children that pass away, they don't know. It could be a lot of reasons too. You know, we've heard that when we go to heaven, our loved ones that died before us would be there.
right,
And so I think of a child that has never met his other family, like grandparents or great great grandparents, ancestors that have died before, and you have these strangers coming up. They don't know who they
Trust
are.
me, I've seen some of the pictures of my ancestors, and I would be afraid to go to them too.
So, you have that. They don't know. The light, just for, adults, it could be scary. They
Yeah,
don't, they may not know about the light, and it's scary to them.
yeah,
And for comfort, they don't want to leave because their mommy and daddy are here.
right, right.
Their loved ones are here.
And it's also like familiar. They're familiar with this.
Right.
And they're a lot of not just kids, but a lot of people in general are afraid of the unknown. So
Right.
what's beyond that light? They don't know.
Exactly.
So it kind of frightens them to the point where they want to stay because they're afraid of what's going to happen on the other side.
Right. Yes. Exactly. And but the sad part is that the ones that have stayed to watch over their loved ones or to comfort them, those people die, and they go on, and they're stuck here.
Oh yeah.
So that's why we have um, you know people from the past that just linger, because then they don't know what to do,
Yeah.
because they feel, maybe they feel like they have missed the mark, the quote, the train,
Right.
to get to where they need to be. And so I think that's the sad part, is that parallel world doesn't quite match up.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, there's also the one where some of them just don't know they're dead.
Right.
There's either a tragic accident or a sudden death that just wasn't expected,
Right.
and they're still lingering because they don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
I mean, they're completely lost because 2 seconds ago they're alive and breathing, and now all of a sudden this whole new world is open to them,
Right.
and they're just confused, lost, and absolutely have no idea what to do next.
Right. Yeah. So very true. Very true.
I don't know. It's crazy out there. I think I'm pretty sure there's more reasons out there why some spirits just don't cross over. Some, stay here. But that's kind of the part of being an investigator and trying to figure out as many answers as we can about the paranormal, because nobody really knows all the answers.
Right.
And right now, all we can do is make an educated guess on what we think fits.
Right.
And hopefully down the line we'll get more answers and we'll be able to figure out more. I wish there'd be a device that just come out and you could sit down and ghost automatically appears in front of you. You can sit there and
Right.
talk to them for hours at a time.
Exactly. And that reminds me of something. When our last investigation that we did this past weekend, we asked the question, "Are you stuck here?"
Mm-hmm.
And they replied, "Yes."
Wow.
That was one of the replies that we got was yes. And sometimes it's not other spirits may not allow them to pass. I know that
Wow.
happened at another place in downtown Dallas that we used to investigate a lot at, just for training and stuff like that. And the spirits in there would not talk, nor could they leave. They couldn't talk to us, nor could they leave because of one spirit would not allow them to. So,
what
kind of interesting.
what would you call a spirit like that? Like someone that's just trying to harvest souls?
I don't know.
Seriously, if you think about it, it's like, you can't go. You're staying here with me.
Like a bully? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And what reason for that too?
Right.
You
Right.
know, of course, I have no reason. I have no explanation of why someone, another spirit would keep another spirit
The only
there.
thing I can think of would be like just sheer evilness.
Evil and meanness. Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I've seen, I've heard topics about other places where people have gone to investigate, and there was a tattoo parlor that used to be a funeral home,
Mm.
and they
Mhm.
said if you go down into the basement, there was they said it was it's almost like just swimming with souls down there because it was so thick and just.
Right.
And everybody had the image of one person that kept coming up that was like standing in front of everybody else and wouldn't let them leave. And it's just like,
Mhm.
what do you do in a situation like that?
I don't know. I mean, are you keeping them because you're lonely,
Yeah.
or are you doing it out of meanness, or
I like their
Yeah.
eyes, so they're going to stay.
That's right.
Creepy.
Right.
Yeah. This is, again, one of those things that, with the paranormal, I just wish we had more answers to it. And if you have any questions about it and you want, any answers, we'll try and provide them. Again, paranormal is still kind of a strange thing that everybody's still looking into and studying. So,
And also give us your opinion on why spirits may stay here. Give us your opinion. That would be very interesting and very enlightening to hear from others that are hearing this.
definitely. And you can always check out our Facebook page, A Presence from the Past, website, A Presence. Yes, I'm still working on the S, from the past. We do have our podcast attached to not only the website, but it's also on Buzzsprout, which is the one I'm using to
Oh, okay.
upload it to. And then we also have our YouTube channel that's going now. So check us out on any of those. As always, if you got something crazy going on at your house and you want us to come out and take a look at it, or our friends at ASUP, please reach out to ASUP, www.asup. I, I just blessed.
www.asupinc.org.
There you go. There you go. And keep in mind, folks, they're a nonprofit organization, so if you do feel like donating, please don't feel free to donate to them. And they're also always looking for members. So if you're interested in paranormal and you want to think about becoming a member, definitely reach out to that and fill out an application. And as always,
You have to be open-minded and willing to learn. You can't go in there knowing it all. Let me just say. That's my spiel.
but I know it all, Natasha.
Well, yeah.
No. I have questions all the time. I don't know how many times I'm like reaching out to you on Facebook. Okay, what do I need to do in this situation? I got this person contacting me about this. What do we need to do? What process? What step do we need to take? But at least we have the connections. We know who we can reach out to,
That's right.
who we can ask questions about,
Mhm.
or who we can ask questions to in order to get the right answers. So we're just a plethora of knowledge on this stuff. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to do so. And thanks for listening.
Yes. Bye.
Real